Welcome to Icons with your host, Rob Feeney. The show that visits with celebrities and corporate executives willing to share their stories and ideas to help you succeed in business. You're currently listening to Part 1. Meet today's icon.
Welcome to Icons. Let's dig in.
Welcome to Icons. I'm your host, Rob Feeney. We have a great show for you today. We have an accomplished musician, famous for being in such bands as Meatloaf, Grand Funk Railroad, Union, Billy Squier, Michael Bolton, most notoriously Kiss. He is just a great guy, a nice guy, and he has a CD coming out February 3rd called BK3. Here he is, Mr. Bruce Kulick. How you doing, Bruce?
Hey, great! Wow, nicest guy in music. I don't know if that's maybe it should be the baddest the baddest guitarist in the world or something. I don't know.
Or the best guitarist in the world.
Yeah, the best guitarist. There you go.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Sincerely, a funny story. Also, I ran into you almost literally at the St. Paul Hotel back during the Revenge Tour in '92, which was kind of a funny story, but. Kind of looking over your career, I mean, you've had quite a good career in the music industry. And for those listeners who may only remember you as being a member of Kiss, Union, and also more recently Grand Funk Railroad, you've also played with Meatloaf, Michael Bolton, and Billy Squier back in the day, right? Is that true? Or
Right, yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, it was actually really good for me to have those other experiences before the Kiss years because obviously, being thrown into the whole Kiss world, that's a big responsibility. It's such a huge, iconic band. So actually doing some of the other, gigs and touring with those other artists really did kind of prep me for what the record business and touring business and recording business is all about.
And you must be very adaptable then with all the various music styles you've played with. I mean, because you got Kiss, you got Meatloaf, you have Michael Bolton. I mean, very different styles of music. Has that been easy for you to kind of adapt to that? Or
I do take a lot of pride in being versatile. Like when I do these rock and roll fantasy camps, which is another thing I'm involved in. You'll have artists from Dickie Betts to, John Anderson from Yes to Roger Daltrey to Jack Bruce, all different styles of rock and music that I have to kind of hang with and play with, and I love it, So I think it's good to be versatile. I've seen Slash actually step out and always do different kind of things, and it's all about music and good music and loving it all. So it's not. I have to admit, I think certain people just don't blend in well with everything, but I do try to obviously be able to be like a versatile player, and I have watched and learned a lot, if you know what I mean. So I do know where I can fit in and use my best abilities, at the right time. I think that's a little knack too to do that.
Your guitar work evolved tremendously with Kiss, I know, through the years, and that must have been really challenging considering they were, going through some significant lineup changes at the time during that period of time. And what was that like for you? I must ask real quick. I mean, I must have been really, really stressful. I mean, what was that like to kind of go through that?
Well, when I first joined the band, which was '84, the end of '84, during the summer, Paul asked me to come in and help them out on the Animalize record on just like a song and one other little part on a second song, because Mark was having some health problems, their new guitarist, and he just mentioned to me, "Don't cut your hair," and I didn't know what that meant, but obviously I found out a few months later when they asked me to join to go to Europe with them, and then it went really well, and well enough that even when they gave Mark the opportunity to see what he would do, they realized they had the right guy with me. So by that time, Van Halen was big. There were a lot of players on the scene that kind of flashy with the guitar, doing different things than the old, the typical. So that like Ace would be more quoting, if you know what I mean. And I remember it was important for me to just play what was contemporary, but at the time still have one foot in the classic stuff that Kiss represented. So again, a good role for me to fill, actually, even though it was big shoes, obviously. The lead guitarist of Kiss and all, but I certainly understood what Paul meant by that, and I rose to the occasion for that kind of a challenge.
That is the end of Part 1. Please join us for Part 2. We hope you enjoyed listening to Icons. Check out other segments and guest interviews. If you have ideas for future topics or would like to be a guest on our show, please call 763-412-0771. Icons is produced and recorded by Jason Medvec at Batcave Studios in St. Paul, Minnesota. For Rob Feeney, I'm Sunny Warner, and find me at sunnywarner.com. Thanks for listening to Icons.